Hello guys, this is Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com, and we're here today with episode number 72 in our incredible new tutorial series where you're unleashing the power of your Raspberry Pi Pico W. What I will need you to do is pour yourself a nice tall glass of ice cold coffee. That would be straight up black coffee poured over ice. No sugar, no sweeteners, none needed. And as you're pouring your coffee, as always, I want to give a shout out to our friends over at Sunfounder. Sunfounder is actually sponsoring this most excellent series of video lessons. And in this class, we will be using the Kepler kit for Raspberry Pi Pico W. Now, hopefully most of you guys already have your gear, but if you don't, look down in the description. There is a link over to Amazon, and you can hop on over there and pick your kit up. And believe me, your life and my life are going to be a whole lot simpler if we are working on identical hardware. But enough of this shameless self-promotion. Let's jump in and talk about what I am going to teach you today. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to teach you a new data structure that we really haven't used before, and that data structure is a dictionary. Okay, we've done variables like floats, ints, binary. We've done different types of variables. We have done arrays, but today we are going to learn dictionaries. And dictionaries are very useful as we're starting to do object-oriented programming and using classes, methods, and functions. A natural fit for that object-oriented programming is dictionaries. Okay, sound good? I hope it does. I will move out of your way. I will have a little bit of my goat juice. We are going to switch over to our code view. And what I am going to do down here is I'm going to just start working. Rather than writing a program, what I'll do is I'll just work down here at the command line. So I've got the Raspberry Pi Pico W. It's hooked up to my Thonny. And let's start to think about dictionaries by thinking about something that we're already familiar with, like arrays. So I could have like X is equal to the array, open the array, and the array could be 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, like that. Close the array, then I could say print X, and what do I get? I get the whole array back. I could say print what X of, put an index, X of 1. What do you expect if I say X of 1? Well, if you said 5, you would be incorrect. You would get 4 because remember the index starts counting at 0. So if I wanted the 5, I would need to say print X of 0. This is just a little review of arrays or list. Is something that you should already know. We can make the list longer by doing an x.append. And then what would we append? Let's append a 9 like that. And then I go X and then 9 is on the end. I think I could also do an X. I could do an X dot. Will it do a pop? Let's see. X dot pop of 1. Let's see if it'll do that. Yes. So you see it got that 4 out of there. And now if I look at the list, I popped the 4 out of there because it was in the 1 position. So pop will take things out. Append will add things. So this is just something that you should sort of be a little bit of a review for you. But now I'm going to make a dictionary. And that dictionary is going to be called me. And this time for a dictionary, it's a lot like an array or a list, but instead of using an open bracket, we will use an open curly. And now instead of having things like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, we have pairs. And the first element of the pair is the key, and the second element of the pair is a value. So we have key value, key colon value, comma, key colon value. So let's see how that would work. This is about me. And so then I'm going to have the string name. That is the what? That is the key. And what would the value be? Think about it. For me, if the key is name, what is the value? The value would be Paul, like that. Then also, that should not be a comma. That should be a colon, like that. Okay. Then I'm going to close the string. And then a comma And now I can have my next key colon value. Well, what could I do? I could have age, okay, is the key, and then the value would be what? 62. Now, what's one thing that you notice here as I do this? The key in this particular case is a string, and the value is a string. Here, the key is a string, and the value is an int, okay? And now, let's look at this. What if I said me, just do me, and I get the whole dictionary out? But you know, on the array, I would do something like me of 0. I would address the elements by index, but on a dictionary, you don't address the elements by index, you address them by key. So what I want is I want me of name. Like that, close it, and me of name is Paul. And then I have me of age, like that, and it's 62. Okay, let's do this again. What I could do is I could just write the whole dictionary in again, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to do an append, okay? And so what I can do is I can add something to this by saying me of, let's say, eyes. Me of eyes is going to be equal to blue, okay? Now look at this. Now let's look at me, and boom, what did we do? We added the key eyes in blue. Now, because we access the dictionary by keys and not by index, it seems like it doesn't really pay a lot of attention to the order of the elements. So I might have expected the new one to go at the end, but the new one came at the beginning. And so don't worry about the order, because you're not addressing things by their order, you're addressing things by their key. And so how can we add something to the dictionary? We can add something to the dictionary by just putting in me of the new key and then have it equal the new value. So now let's just check and make sure that now what if I say what is me? Me of eyes, like that, close. Me of eyes is blue. Boom. All right. Hopefully you'll see how powerful this is. Also, what I want to show you is the key. What you've seen is that the value, we've seen a string and we have seen an int. Well, what I could also do is I could say me of, let's just say weight. Me of weight is going to be equal to 152.5. Big fat lie. Okay, but I'll put it in as that. And then if I say me, you can see that my weight is 152.5. So what? We have a value that is a string. Get that out of there. We have a value that is a string. We have a value that is a float. We have a value that is an int. What else can we do? Well, I can say me of, and what am I going to add? I'm going to add another one, and this time I'm going to add my friends. Okay, my friends. And what is that going to equal? Well, do I have just one friend? No, I have 3 friends. And so what are my friends? I'm going to put them in as a list. My friends are Sam, John. These really are my friends, by the way. And Juventine. Juventine's an amazing man. He's my pastor. He was just the poor orphan village boy, and he survived as a little bitty boy by catching minnows in the river and selling them. And he would fish all night long catching minnows in the river, and then he would sell them. And then he couldn't afford school fees, but he would go and he would just sit outside the classroom and he would learn remotely outside the window. And poorest, most desperate child that you could ever imagine, but he somehow put himself through school. Eventually, he was able to get in the classroom, put himself through school selling minnows, and then he actually got accepted to medical school. And he put himself through medical school by fishing and selling fish. So he would go to school during the day. At night, he would sit in the boat and work on homework and try to catch fish, put himself through medical school. And then he was kind of discovered by some people in the United States who were trying to do some work in, here in East Africa, and he got hooked up with them. And he then went to seminary. He's now a pastor and a medical doctor, and he's been able to build this incredible medical complex, just the most amazing rags to riches story. Plus, he is the lead pastor at our church. Pretty amazing guy, Juventine. But I digress. Okay, I'm adding my friends Sam, John, and Juventine under the key of what? Friends. Okay, now let's look at me. Now look at this. I've got a string key name and a value of Paul. I've got the key of eyes, a string, and I've got the value, a string blue, the key weight, and the float value, 152.5, age 62. And now look at this. Friends is the key, but it goes to a what? A list. So do you see how flexible and powerful this dictionary technique is? So now what could I do? I say, who are my friends, like that. Okay. And my friends are Sam, John, and Juventine. Then let's see, I could do me of friends, like that. And I think this will work. Who is my 0th friend, like that. And it is Sam. Okay. I can't help myself sometimes. What if I did me, friend 0, and what if I did 1, like that? And what does it do? It gives me an A, because what did it do? It came in and breaks Sam down and gave me the first element. 0 is S and 1 is Sam. So it's pretty amazingly flexible what you can do with this data structure. All right, now there's another thing that I can do. Like let's just look at me again. Okay, hopefully I have not been blocking too much of your view here. I see that a little of this was back behind me. I apologize for that, but let me move a little bit further out of the way. Okay, and you can kind of get the idea there, I think. Okay, now what I did was, if we want to add a value, how do we add it? If we want to add a new key in value, what we could do is we could say me and whatever the new key is, and then is equal to the new value. Okay, so we understand that. We also understand how we can get rid of something by popping it, and then we also know that we can change things. So like if I said me, let's say me, I'll add 1, me, the key is wife, okay, and the value is Anna. All right, like that. Okay, now me of wife is what? It's Anna. Now, if I wanted to change that, me of wife, I could change that. I shouldn't change that one. Okay, never mind. We won't do that. But if I put in a different value here, it would change it. Okay, not a good idea. All right. So we've done a lot of things here. Now there's a couple of other things we could do. I could say print. I could say print. And I don't have to say print down here. Well, I will though, just so you can see how it would work in the program. If I say me.keys, okay, me.keys, open, close, it'll go in and it will create a list of the key values. Okay, so the list of the key values are name, eyes, weight, age, friends, wife. Okay, those are the keys. Well, what I could also do is I could print me dot the values. And these are very useful as you're trying to work or manipulate a dictionary, because you can just go out and grab all the keys, or you can go out and grab all the values. And here what you can see is the values. It's like name, Paul, eyes blue, weight, this. You can just get one or another in a one or another of a keys or values. Okay, I was thinking about what I was going to say next, so I got a little distracted there. Okay, I'm back on track here. Get a little go juice. Okay, now some other things. Let me just come up here and let me kind of just start writing a program so we can sort of do this. So I'm going to come here and I'm going to grab this because I don't want to enter it again. And so I'm just going to say me is equal to that dictionary that we just created. Okay, now I'm going to print me. I'm going to print me.keys like that. I'm going to print me.values. These are just things we did individually down there. And then that looks good. Okay, so now let's run this and sort of see it'll do what we expect. So what I do is I get the whole dictionary here, and then I get the keys, and then I get the values. Okay, I get the keys and I get the values. Okay, now what I can do is I can see, is there a certain key in there? So I can say if wife, the string, is in me. So if wife is in me, what I can say is print wife. Wife is a key, like that. Okay, and then I can say if wife is not in. So you see, these are kind of logical operators, in, not in. These are very powerful things. I don't think we've done those before, but those things are good to know. Then what would I say? Print wife. Wife is not a key. Okay, so now let's run that and let's see what happens. Okay, it says wife is not a key. Well, wait a minute. Wife is a key. It didn't make it up in there. Okay, let me put it in there. And also I was trying to make a mistake by putting, okay. So I didn't put it in there. So what can I do? I can say or me, not dot, but me of wife is equal to the lovely Miss Anna. Been married going on 36 years now, just so you know. Each day happier than the day before. Blissful marriage. Okay. Wife is a key. Okay. Now what if I did this and I said copy, and then I came down here and then put a V and I say if dog in me, then dog is a key. If dog not in me, then I can say dog is not a key. And really I should use the same case because it matters, so I shouldn't change the case there. Even though it'll print out, it's just confusing if I do it that way. Okay, wife is a key, dog is not a key. Okay, that's pretty good. Now what I can do is I can do something else. Now look at this. What I can do is I can come in and I can say for I. Now you see the N seems to look at that first value. The N seems to look at the key values. Okay, and so what could I do? If dog in me, I could say dog is a key, and then I could say print dog. I could say print dog value, and I'll need to put a dog in here if I'm going to do that. So how would I do that here? I better, if I'm going to look for the dog value, I better put one in. So I'm going to say me dog is going to be equal to my dog Coco, who is an enormous puppy boar bull. Look up the boar bull. It's one of the finest dogs out there. And in fact, you might hear her barking out there in the background. Okay. So now I could say dog is a key, and the dog value, how would I get that value? Think about it. How would I get that value? That would be me of dog, like that. I'm just trying to do lots of examples so you begin to get familiar and comfortable with this. So let's see what happens here. Oh, what is that? Line 16. What is that nonsense? Oh, I'd started something and got distracted. So let's try again. Okay, dog value is Coco. Okay, the dog value is Coco. Me of dog is Coco. Now, I wonder why. Oh, I should not have put that as an array. You see, I made it a list, and then it gave it back to me as a list. That scared me a little bit. Okay, now I just get the string back. So it did what? Exactly what I asked it to. I just didn't ask it to do the right thing. So now the dog value is Coco. Now what if I said, what if I just want to step through the key values and do that? Well, to step through the key values, that is just the simple end thing. Like if you go to it and try to step through it, or say dog in me, it's looking for the key values. So what could I do? I could just say for I in me, like that, and then I could print I. And then what do you think that's going to do? What is that going to print? As I step through me and I just step through it, is it going to give the key, the value, or is it going to give the key, colon, the value? What do you think? Well, a good guess would be is it's going to give the key. Okay. Yeah. So what did it give me? Wife, dog, name, friends, weight, age, eyes. What if I wanted to go through it and print? What if I wanted to go through it and print the key and that key's value? Well, that's pretty easy. We would print I, and then what would I print? I would print me of I. Me of I, like that. Now we're going to run that again. Okay. Now look at that. So we stepped through it. How did I got that Anna thing wrong too. I did that. I shouldn't have done that. I did the same thing there. Okay, I made it a list. Let's run it again. Little typo there that I made twice. Okay, so I have got wife Anna, dog Coco, name Paul, friends a list, weight 152, age 62, eyes blue. Now what I could also do is I could come in here and I could say me of mother's maiden name. I better not do that one because that's always the secret question on accounts. So I probably shouldn't do that. You know, I'm going to give you enough information here to hack my account, but okay. Hopefully I haven't revealed too much as we've gone through this lesson. So you can see that this is very, very powerful. Let me show you one more. Okay, what I'm going to come down here is I'm going to say me of 3. Okay, what's different here? 3 is an integer, and I'm making 3 the key. So you see, the keys don't have to be strings. The keys can also be numbers. So I could say me of 3 is going to be equal to, watch this, I'm going to make it the string 3, like that. Okay, and now I'm going to say print me of 3, like that, and that needs to be a parentheses, me of 3, like that. And now let's see what happens. Okay, 3. Okay, so you could say print me of 3. And so do you see it's like it's converting now. The key is an int and then it's giving me the string equivalent of that int. And so it's very, very flexible and very, very powerful how you can use these dictionaries. Also, a lot of times there's just an interesting dictionary that you can create. Like you could create a dictionary. You could create a dictionary of Morse code, like A is da da or whatever, and B, you could create the dot dash equivalent of all the letters, and you could save that as a dictionary, and then you could much more easily and effectively create a Morse code generator. Okay, in fact, that would be a good homework assignment, but I'm not going to give you that homework assignment. I already have a homework assignment for you. But you can create interesting dictionaries, and then you can use them kind of like a library. You can either cut and paste it into the program, or you could actually save a dictionary as a library, and then you could just load the dictionary as you load the library. So there's some pretty impressive things that you can do. So this is your homework assignment. It's sort of a practical problem. It's a practical problem here for the for the using a dictionary. And so what you see is I have the RGB LED, and I have it hooked up to the most excellent Raspberry Pi Pico W. And then let's see here. This is what your assignment is. Your assignment is, and I'm going to run the program, but I don't want you to really see the program. Okay. Okay, so now we'll come back over here to this view. And so you see this is going to be, what color do you want? Well, I want red. Okay, it turns red. I want green. It turns green. I want blue, and it turns blue. I want cyan, and it turns cyan. I want magenta, and it says, magenta is not a valid color. Let me spell it right. Magenta. Okay, boom. I want yellow, I want orange, and then I want white, and then I want off. Okay, now, do you see that's kind of like a lot of data, and that would be a whole lot of lines of code to try to do all of that. But what you could do is you could put all your data into a dictionary, and then this program becomes much, much easier to write. So that is your homework assignment, is to use a dictionary to write this program where you are controlling the color of the LED. Guys, I hope you're having as much fun taking, look, we've got the little fishermen departing the island, and it looks like they're getting their fishing day started. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning here, and so the fishermen are going out and starting their fishing. Sometimes they fish like very, very early in the morning. Maybe they came back, in the morning, had their breakfast, and now they're going out to fish again. But I digress. I hope you guys are having as much fun taking these lessons as I am making them. Want to always give a shout out to you guys who are helping me out over at Patreon. You are the guys that keep these lessons coming. I appreciate your support and your help. You can also help me by leaving a comment down below and liking the video. If you have not already, make sure you subscribe to the channel. When you do, ring that bell so you'll get notifications when future lessons drop. And most importantly, share this video with other people, because the world needs more people doing engineering and fewer people sitting around watching silly cat videos. Paul McWhorter with TopTechBoy.com. I will talk to you guys later.